page. We're now on page 172. We're going to do example 3 there at the top of 172 in your workbook. Read it out for me.
4x squared minus 11 divided by -3 plus 2x.
Alright, we got lots of issues with how this problem is written. Okay, write it down as is. Okay, and let's talk about how we can clean it up and make it a problem that we can do. Okay, what do you notice first? What do you notice first that is wrong? What's wrong out here?
It's
not in descending order, right? It's got the number in front of the x. So immediately I can change that and say 2x minus 3, and that's good. Okay, that wasn't no big deal. All right, what about the stuff underneath the radical? What's wrong with it? Is it in descending order? Yes, but what's missing? The x value, right? We went from x squared to no x. We're missing, right here, we're missing the x value. So the way we have to write it is like this. We have to say 4x squared plus 0x minus 11. We have to add that 0x in there. It's not negotiable. It's a placeholder. You must put it in there. How many of you are going to forget, however, to plug that in there? Okay. If you forget, you get the wrong answer. You've got to substitute it in. Right in the margin, must be in descending order. Must. Circle it, star it, highlight it. It must be in descending order in order for you to do the problem. You cannot forget that step and get it right. Won't happen. Now, when you have that placeholder in, then it's a piece of cake. Then it's just like the other ones that we did. Do you want to try it on your own? You want me to do it? Huh? You want to try it on your own? Okay, try it on your own. I'll give you a second. Try this problem on your own, and then I'll work it out for you. Shh, please don't talk. Do you end up with a remainder on this problem?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Oh, sure it is. There's nothing wrong with a remainder. Can you check the problem when you have a remainder? Yes, it takes a little bit more time. But you can check it when you have a remainder. You would take this and multiply it by each thing. Right, so you'd have 2x times, or 2x minus 3, sorry. That times the 2x, right, plus 2x minus 3 times the 3, like that, and then minus 2x minus 3 times 3 over 2x minus 3. And what would happen there is those would cancel. So that would just be minus 3. This would be 4x squared minus 6x. This would be plus 6x minus 9. Those cancel out, and you have 4x squared. That's supposed to be a 2. The remainder is supposed to be a 2. And you get minus 11. That's supposed to be a 2. You get something wrong there. All right, let's look at it. Eyes up here. Everybody put your pencil down. Eyes up here.
I subtracted wrong.
Okay, well, that's why we check. Okay, what's the value here that multiplies by 2x to give you 4x squared?
2x.
2x, very good. 2x times 2x will give you 4x squared. If you have a hard time with that, raise your hand. If you have a hard time getting started, anybody? Okay, good. So we get 4x squared here, Right? 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. See why we had to have that placeholder? If that plus 0x wasn't in there, there wouldn't be anything to do with the 6x. It's got to be in there. Chris?
How'd you get negative 6x?
2x times negative 3 gives you negative 6x. Alright? So then we make this subtraction, and what do we have to remember with the 6x? We got to make it into what? Positive. This cancels out, and I get 6x minus 11. Alright, I'm almost there. I got one more step, basically. Okay? What does 2x multiply together to give me 6x?
Positive 3.
Positive 3. Very good. Positive 3 tells me to put a positive 3 right there. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Okay? Now we make that negative and that positive, and what's my remainder?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Now how do I want the remainder written?
Negative 2 over 2x minus 3.
Negative and then 2 over 2x minus 3. Okay? That's how it needs to be written. Okay? Questions? Any questions? Do you want me to show you the check step? Would you like to know how to check it when you have a remainder? Okay, let's do the check step. Dylan, what's your question before we do that?
How do you get plus 3?
Plus 3, because I know that 2x, it's like this. You're doing this in your head. What number do I multiply 2x by to give me 6x? Right? How do I get it? And what you're actually doing is dividing both sides by 2x. You're actually cancel, and you get 3. Right? 6x divided by 2x is simply 3. You're just solving that in your head. Good question. All right, here's the check step. Eyes up here. I'm going to leave it up there. Thank you. All right, what we're actually doing is we're saying 2x times 2x minus 3. Right? I'm distributing this there, and there. Plus 3 times 2x minus 3. Right? 2x times the first term, 2x times the second term, minus 2 over 2x minus 3, like that, times 2x minus 3. Well, what happens on the last one there? What happens to the 2x minus 3's? They just cancel out. This one cancels out with this one, and you just get negative 2. That's the beautiful thing. Okay? These you have to distribute here and here, here and here, and I'd get 4x squared minus 6x. Here I'd get positive 6x minus 9, and then I have the minus 2 there. These cancel out, and I get 4x squared minus 11, which is what I started off with. 4x squared minus 11. So, every single one of these, if you take your answer, multiply it by the denominator, you should end up with the numerator, what you started out with on top. Okay? Questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, do we have another one of those?
Yeah.
That one there?
There were 5.
All right, let's do that one, and I'll let you work it out. Everybody gets this right, then we'll assign the homework, pack up. All right, read it out.
Negative 11 plus 3x squared divided by negative 3 plus x.
All right, try this one now at your desk. This will be your ticket out the door. You got to get this one right to go to third block.
At least I know I'll get it right.
How much time we got, James? What are we at?
9 minutes.
Okay, keep going. Yes, ma'am. You tell me. Do you have to rewrite it, move things around, and add a 0, x? Yes. How many of you are going to forget to add that 0x placeholder? You've got to do whatever you've got to do to remember that. It's got to be in descending order. Long division, descending order. Long division, descending order. Long division, descending order. Did you get a remainder of 16?
Yes, sir.
If you got a remainder of 16, does that pretty much tell me that you've done all the other steps right? Yeah, because otherwise you're not going to end up with you got a different remainder. You did some other steps wrong. The only way you can get to 16 as your remainder means you did it correctly.
So that's
I
right.
did it incorrectly.
All right.
Can you give me
Here's the question. Am I going to count this right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
No, I'm not. Okay? And there's a reason. This is very difficult for me to tell if the 16 is over that or all of this stuff is over that. My answer, when I have a nice horizontal bar right there for the fraction, is very clear that 16 is the numerator. It's the only thing over x minus 3. That's a small thing, but I'm telling you, that's the way that it needs to be written. Okay? Good question. Anybody else?
I'm always written fractions like that.
Well, and you have to get out of that habit because it will mess you up. When you say 3 1/2, that's okay. But when you say x plus 4 and then you say x, was the 4 over the x or the x plus 4 over the x? Now, if you put parentheses, I could live with it, you know. But that gets into if this and if this. I want it written this way. Good question. Yes. 27, because 9 times negative 3, it started off, it was negative 27, then I changed it. Good question. Yep.
So, like, what made you choose 9 up there?
9 times x would give me 9x. I was trying to match it up with 9x. How do I turn x into 9x? I multiply it by 9. Okay, good question. Yes?
He's doing another problem.
We're going to do something right now. James, hit record. Your